Presidency of the United States of America, Ann Romney.
Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thank you, Pam. Aren't we honored to have such extraordinary women that represent other women that are saying, we've had enough of this, we count in this country, we're standing up and our voices need to be heard. So we appreciate Pam very much. Again, I need to recognize, like she did, 3 people that were murdered last night in Libya, and we have learned again the sad truth that freedom is never free. Yes. And we are so grateful to our men and women that are serving to protect us and keep us safe. Anyone in here from the military or represents a military family? Thank you all. And as you all have sorrow in your hearts today, we share, as all Americans, with that sorrow. We know that there are family members that are grieving today that have lost someone. And so we're grateful for this nation, we're grateful for our freedoms, and we also know it comes with a price. And it comes in blood. And so we're so grateful for all of those that keep us safe. Thank you all to everyone in this country that works so hard to keep us safe. So I thought we had a great convention in Tampa. I loved it. I loved getting a chance to get up there and speak and to let my voice be heard because I like talking about my husband. I like talking about what a good guy he is. And I liked hearing the other stories, by the way, that were there. I didn't know those were going to happen. I was delighted to see friends from our past that came and said, you know what, we're sick and tired of these attacks on Mitt. And I want to tell you the real story of what this guy is like. This is a guy that really cares. And when no television cameras are on and no reporters are watching, guess how he lived his life? When a boy is dying from leukemia, he goes to Pat and Ted Oporowski's home. Ted was a fireman in Medford, Massachusetts, and a friend of ours. And where is Mitt when they need him? He's at the bedside of David Oporowski, who's dying from leukemia. And you know who he took with him on a lot of those visits? My boys. And my boys were much younger then. They were little. I remember Ben was only 2. My son Ben is now a doctor. So that was a while ago. But what did my boys learn from watching their father do things like going to David's bedside when he was dying? Like helping out a neighbor, knowing that they didn't have heat. I remember him loading logs in the trunk of our car. He got a telephone call from a friend far away that said, my daughter is not a member of your church, but I know her heat has just been shut off in Boston. It was winter, it was cold. What did Mitt do? Piled the boys in the car, piled a whole bunch of logs in the trunk, filled the trunk up, went to her home, took food, got her through the night, and in the morning he made sure that there was money to pay her bills and to get the heat turned back on. And what did my boys learn from all of that? They turned into the most extraordinary young men. And how do we teach? Do we teach by saying go and serve and go and do, or do we go and do? I also know that my husband is not the kind of person that talks about it. And what do we learn from the scriptures? Is that that's not why we do it. That is not why we serve our fellow men, to get reward, but to do and to serve. And thank you all for appreciating that you understand where this guy is coming from. This guy is a person that has compassion. He's always been there. He's the kind of guy you can count on. I will tell you in my own life, people say, oh, you haven't struggled. Well, I've struggled. I have not had the storybook marriage that a lot of people think we've had. Because as you know, in my storybook, there were no chapters on multiple sclerosis. And there are no chapters in fairy tales, in storybooks, on breast cancer. And so this family has known what it's like to be really out of hope. And who did I have standing next to me when I was in my darkest hour? I was feeling absolutely lost. And it was there saying, you know what, Ann? I don't care how tough it gets. We're doing this together. And I'm by your side, and we're going to be okay. This is a man that cares, and this is a man that knows what it's like when people are in trouble. And where is he when people are in trouble? He's working. He's getting the job done. So I know right now there are 23 million Americans that need his help. And I have to say something. Help is on the way. I'm grateful this man has a heart that understands and is compassionate. That he also has a brain that knows how to get the job done. It's been great to see him. I've watched him do extraordinary things throughout my lifetime. You all know about his success in business, his success at the Olympics, his success as a governor. But where he's been the most successful has been at home. And he's been by my side. He's been with me in my dark hours of struggling with MS and breast cancer. He's been with my boys and telling them, by the way, that what your mother is doing is more important than what I'm doing. And giving them the knowledge that we have a true partnership, that we're all in this together as a family. So our boys have turned out to be the most extraordinary young men. And last Father's Day, as I was thinking about my sons and watching how they were treating their wives and how they were treating their children, I thought to myself, Mitt, thank you so much for being such a powerful example in the lives of my children, so that my sons can pattern themselves after you and remember that their marriage is important, that their children are important, but also what is very important is serving our fellow man. So this is an important election. Pam's told you about that. And I don't think there's another guy that is better prepared, has a better heart, that is needed desperately right now for this country. We believe in America. We know this man will not fail. He is going to be there for you. He's going to be there for millions of Americans. And he is going to be the one that's going to turn the key to the economic engine and get this country going again. We got you here. We've got to have you go out and convince someone that voted for Barack Obama last time and say, you know what? It's time for a new coach. It's time to fire the coach. And it's time for a new president of the United States. And that new president will be